Hello, and welcome to a very belated edition of the 2023 Oakland Grand Prix. We are just underway. This is an awesome race, local race. I think it was also the Criterium Championships for the division or the area this year. So we saw a lot of hitters come out. Everyone was excited. And I'm excited because today I'm getting to race my very first race as a CAT3. I did well in the Giro San Francisco and was able to accrue enough upgrade points. So this is my first official CAT3 race. We're off underway, and it was a hard start to the race, and the theme of the whole video will be how it didn't really let up. But what's important to note is our team is by far the largest team here regarding numbers. We have all of our hitters out today. We have Miles, we have Eamon, we have myself, not really a hitter, but that's okay. Michael King, we have Joe, Mornin, and we might even have one or two others in there. It's been a couple months since the race, so I'm not that super fresh on what has gone on, but we're completing our first lap. There was a bit of a headwind. It felt like in both directions. So both times coming down the alleyways, it felt like a headwind. And the race started out hard, and it felt hard pretty much the entire time. But yeah, we took our first lap, and what's important to note is our teammate Miles has gone off the front with one other person, and they're in a two-man breakaway. We're only 6 minutes into this race. It's a really long race, but we are already in a good spot. Oh, and this happened to me. I hit the only pothole on the course just about, and I got a flat. And I thought my race was over at this point. Pretty disappointing, right? First time doing CAT3, and what happens? I get a flat. In 6 minutes, the moto official said, "Hey, do you have a pair of wheels?" I said, "No, I don't." But I was thinking about, can I beg, borrow, or steal a wheel here, right? And someone came to my rescue. This is Mike. Mike is a total G for this move. He said, "Hey man, I'm not racing right now. Do you want the wheel off of my bike to get back in?" I said, "Heck yeah, let's do it. I'm in, let's go for it." I put the wheel on the bike. We made like a not extremely quick swap because it wasn't exactly ready, but after a bit I was able to get it in, and the officials said, "Hey, you're cool to go," right? So that's where we're at. I was sitting in like a decent spot in the field. This was a pretty big field, maybe like 30 or 40 people, and they threw me back into the race, and I just tried to slot right in and kind of delete from my memory the fact that I was out of the race, the fact that I flatted, just be a goldfish, as Ted Lasso would say, and lock back in. And I jumped back in, and very clearly, quickly, I realized the race is still very much on. It didn't really slow up. We're still very strung out. And that kind of was the theme of the race is it was pretty strung out most of the race. And I found myself really struggling to stay toward the front due to the fact that it was strung out. So yeah, it was challenging for me from a positioning standpoint. And by the way, the whole time our guy Miles is still off the front, still, hammering away, doing big watts, and I'm trying to get to the front to control the pace the best that I can. And you'll see Mike here, Michael King, he's also in the front right here. And our goal is to really slow everyone down a little bit, not really push the pace, not make it fast, not make it hard. Every time that we let off the pedals, takes a little bit of time for maybe the people behind you to realize that, and your teammate up the road has another half second, another second, which really does become consequential toward the end of the race if they can hold that lead. So generally, I'm trying to patrol the front and just not put in a lot of speed and not ride as fast as I can, but ride as slow as I can. But it was pretty challenging because we did have other teams here that were well represented. We had the Super Sprinkles team, Work Health was here, the Alto Velo team was here. At CAT3, there's a pretty strong, deep, reliably dedicated fit field, and even I'm still learning the players inside of this kind of new ecosystem whenever you upgrade. There are a host of old names you do know, maybe who have upgraded already, and there's a whole host of new names that you don't know at all. So you got to learn kind of the ins and outs of that class again, at least I'm finding. And at this point, generally, we're just, we're hanging out. We're trying to make it through this hairpin, and that's kind of it's the most dangerous point of the race for sure. It's a pinch point. We go from like a really nice wide highway that's 2 lanes across down into this like little chicane. So it gets squeezed there almost every time. And you'll see here we are on the backstretch, and we're doing 32 miles an hour, 33 miles an hour. Like this is very fast. Like this is not chill. And look, if you look up, like it's completely single file, right? And that the pace is high when the whole race is single filed like this. Let's see what happens here. I think this is where Mike clips a pedal here, trying to put down the power. I try to assure him and just say, hey man, like, get clipped back in, take a breath, lock back in, it'll be all right. But all those little things kind of add up. And as you can see, going down the backstretch again, pretty single file. Maybe someone's letting off the gas up there because it's starting to bunch up. And for me, I was just trying to find the opportunities to move up for free anytime that I could. And there didn't seem to be a ton of opportunities in this race to do that. Or I didn't find them, right? Maybe it was just me. Maybe there are people moving super efficiently through this pack, but I wasn't one of them. I'm doing 300 or 400 watts to move up toward the front, and I think this still was a good move. I think my return on investment was fine here, but that was like the best I did at moving up, and I didn't burn a match. But it wasn't like totally for free. And I haven't mentioned this yet, but if you look at my heart rate, it's at 175, and it just never went down. And this is how I knew that it was kind of I'm taking time bomb at 175, 180 BPM. Like, I can't hold this forever. This is very painful for me. It's too far into the red. So when you're up that high, you just kind of have like a certain amount of time before you die the 1,000th death and you can't do it anymore. And the only thing I'm hoping here the whole time is like, it just needs to slow up. It just needs to slow up. But even when it did, felt like it got easier. I didn't see my heart rate dropping. It's really late into the season here. I definitely was letting my fitness kind of fall off a bit at this point from its peak. I would say my fitness peaked maybe a week or two before the Giro of San Francisco. And I was feeling really, really good, but we weren't racing in that kind of like window. I still came into the Giro with plenty of fitness and felt good, got a good result. But at this point, I was not like quite on the gas like I typically am with training. So what are we at? We're at 29 minutes in. Oh, and I find Cody Berta's wheel. This guy in front of me, Cody, is one of the strongest sprinters in the field. He's a marked man, and he's someone who I know our team will be probably having to deal with at some point in this race, especially as it gets toward the end. So with that said, he's an experienced CAT3, and I wanted to spend some time on his wheel and just kind of see how did he get around the course? What is he doing? Is he riding really efficiently? Is he moving through the pack? Is he going to throw an attack, right? And I'm primarily riding in service for my other teammates because I'm not the strongest one in the CAT3 category on our team. Oh, here it comes. Oh, gosh. Right. So let's talk about that. I don't know why my teammate did this. And it's kind of rough, I'll just say, when there are problems in a race and the problems are your team. It's a little bit hard to swallow that pill and say it, but there was no need for this. I don't know. I don't really know. I think it was just a poor decision by Joe. I'm not really sure why he was trying to slot in front of both of his teammates, me and Mike, to beat us to the corner at 33 minutes into this race. It's a 50-minute race. But fortunately, I don't believe anyone else went down behind him. Joe did end up hurting his shoulder pretty badly. But yeah, a poor decision. He came in too hot. He hit the back wheel of the next guy, and he's out. He almost took both of us out too. He almost took out half of his own team in the process. Luckily, Mike did a masterful job staying upright. I got around Joe as well and didn't run over his head. I'm checking in with Mike right now, and oh yeah, I got a side cramp. I've never experienced side cramps during a race, like almost like when you're a kid playing soccer, and like at least the last time that I remember this is like you're playing soccer as a kid and you get cramps in your side. That was weird. Never had that. But all the while, as you can see, I'm still pegged at 175. I'm getting a side cramp, and I kind of know that this is the beginning of the end. We're getting deep into the race. We're like 45 or like 40 or so minutes into the race, and it's just going to get faster. Like, the reality is it's been fast and hard for much of the race, but it's just going to get faster in the final 2 laps. So if you're just dangling and hanging out for dear life, there's no way you're going to go and be competitive and competing for the front in the final 2 laps. We lost Herman there to a flat or something, and I got gapped off the back a little bit, and that was it. I had nothing left. I had ridden as hard as I could for as long as I could at that pace, and I did not have it in me to close down the gap again. So, end of story. Super hard race. My first race as a 3, and whew, what an introduction. There were pedal strikes, there were crashes. To close it out, Miles did get caught from his breakaway. It kind of reformed a couple of times, and then he was solo for a bit, and then someone got to him, but the field swallowed him up. And in the end, our boy Eamon took 3rd on the race, if I remember correctly. And there was a couple guys that were able to finish it out with like a really strong kick sprint. So that was that. Yeah, intro to CAT3. It hurt. Wasn't fun. Wasn't fun for my heart or my lungs, but it was a super fun race. As always, super nice to come out and race with my team, get to see the community, hang out. Shout out to all the teams who were just chilling in the pits. And I think I got a hot dog from the Super Sprinkles team. That was super good after this, like, completely destroying myself out there and kind of just seeing red for 25 minutes and just trying to hold on. So that's that. That's the end of the season. I'm well into off season, and hopefully we can highlight some local rides. I'll see you next time. Bye.